Okay, look, as someone who uses the face of Master Cheeks in every single one of my thumbnails as a joke, I think it's fair to say I have an obligation to talk about this. Yes, the Halo TV show has decided to rear its ugly mug around the corner.
May God help us all.
Obviously, season 1 was a complete shit show. The writing was horrendous. We all know this. The first episode, they had our boy take his helmet off because...
I don't know.
And then we just slowly watched as he would eventually shed all of his layers, literally, starting with his armor. He would just full on be butt naked to rip out some stupid emotional suppressant device, commit treason by banging a Covenant spy because he found out what it felt like to be horny or something, a Covenant spy who the show lazily tried to make out as a relatable villain who hates humanity because, I don't know, she was hit by a stun baton by one guy when she was young or something stupid. Then she died in the season finale and no one cared. We had this OC with the worst haircut humanity could ever produce, a character no one but the writers liked, to where she got a decent chunk of screen time. She got most of an episode dedicated to her and everyone hated it.
Think of her as a new set of eyes to aid your reactions and upgrade your reconnaissance. She's not the driver, but a way to level the playing field.
Well, the show had a much better idea, which is have Cortana literally be the driver for Chief. She can turn him off whenever needed and even take control of his entire body and do a much better job at playing Master Chief than Master Chief himself, which makes you wonder what's the point of having him here if all they needed was an AI behind the wheel. Guys, it was worse than you remember, trust me. I could go on for hours talking about the nonsensical plot and character work, and I'm just speaking as someone who played the games. I'm using that as my reference for the lore. I know this is a silver timeline, which is their only excuse, as in like their only leg to stand on for doing whatever they want, but it's pretty impressive that they still managed to slap every Halo fan in the face with this masterpiece. And if you don't want to take my word for it, by all means, go out there and see it for yourself. The first season is actually up on YouTube for free. Go experience that sludge to your heart's content. Now, with that off my chest, and trust me, it's been brewing for quite a while, let's finally talk about the trailer for season 2 of the Halo TV show. Okay, now, I agree with the general sentiment, which is this looks like what Season 1 should have been about. It should have been about the fall of Reach. None of that bullcrap about the human drama and Quan. Show the Covenant fleets destroying humanity as they desperately try to buy time, holding back a force that is far more powerful and advanced beyond what humanity could ever imagine. Armies clashing, meaningful character deaths and stakes that all eventually lead to Halo. If they focus on just this aspect alone with good set pieces, visuals, and well choreographed fights, I would say maybe in terms of fan service they have a shot at delivering something decent to the Halo fans, or at least the ones out there that are very easy to please. But you see, this is where we start running into some problems, because the most important thing is a good coherent story, good writing. That's where my faith starts to wane a lot. Just seeing Chief with his helmet off again isn't a good sign. Are they really trying to continue making him a complex character? Or maybe they are actually trying to salvage season 1 and somehow make sense of it all? This is part of the reason why I brought up the damage season 1 has caused at the start of the video. How in the world are we supposed to forget all of that? How are the writers going to remedy season 1? That's the one thing I have the most interest in personally. I don't know how you can make me forget this guy was fucking someone, literally. I don't know how you're going to get Chief to where he should have been in season 1, where he's very much like his depiction in the games, where he's a very stoic, respectable hero in the eyes of soldiers who follow him.
Hey, check it out. No way. A Spartan?
For real, you better not be.
No, man, he's here.
It would have been easier if they just said season 1 didn't happen and we're starting over. It would have been so easy to just say that, but this is season 2. They want to carry on with the bad baggage, I guess. The best thing they can do is just ignore it, never reference it again, and move on and hope we all do the same. Which, we shouldn't ignore that. It's part of the story whether we like it or not. It's only fair to include season 1 when we look at season 2. I suppose on the bright side, we have a different showrunner and executive producer, and I know it's kind of cheating, but I'm happy they used actual Halo music for the majority of the trailer instead of something generic. And like I implied earlier, the trailer looks good, minus a couple things, but keep in mind the trailers for season 1 look decent as well. Look, I will give this show a chance, like I do with just about anything I have an interest in. I'm not going to go in with the intent to hate on it. I will give it a fair shot and see what happens. I mean, come on, dude. Surely they cannot mess up the fall of Reach, right? Right? You know, I am also kind of disappointed they aren't going down a more ridiculous route, because season 1 was so fucked. I was ready for them to just do psycho levels of parody. Like, we're in the year 2023 and so on, where race swapping characters for the sake of diversity is a standard in Hollywood. I would have loved to see a white Sergeant Johnson. That honestly would have bumped my score up. And because Master Cheeks is just such a horny dude, I was hoping for a scene of Arbiter and the Chief just fucking or something. But then I see they're actually trying to take this seriously, and I'm like, oh man. Well, fingers crossed, it could still happen.